We're really lucky at our school because half of the kids have their own devices and the other half are able to use devices that have been purchased by our school and the SCC. So we have Chromebooks and iPads and iPad minis and laptops in our room. So that allows us to have a 1-to-1 ratio. And the kids are familiar with their own devices. So they already know which apps will work and how to use the different programs. So we don't have to help them, we don't have to teach them how to use them. So that helps us because now we're the facilitators of the learning. We don't have to teach them everything. So we're using Google Sites for our student-led conferences. And as long as the child has a device, it could be their own or it could be the school's, they're able to take pictures and videos of their work as they're doing it. So that allows them to assess their own work because they need to talk about their strengths and their weaknesses with their parents. So I think that makes them take responsibility for their learning and their work. So we're not the only ones assessing them anymore, they're assessing themselves.
It was helpful because I can work on it anywhere with the iPads, Chromebooks, or computers. And it's easy to upload videos and pictures from Drive to Google Sites.
So because it's 1-to-1, now I can look at their work as they're working on it because they're using programs that allow them to share it with me. So they can work on it whenever they have time and I can go and look at their work as they're working on it, and that helps us with formative assessment because then we can change how we're teaching to cater. It has allowed us to have a more personalized learning space, so we're centered around the students. So they have a choice in how they want to show us what they've learned, but it also allows us to differentiate our instruction so every child gets what they need.
I'm working on my project on ancient Greece. Mine's on art and architecture, and I'm using Keynote. It's helpful because all of my assignments are all on one iPad, which I can take to and from school, so I always have them with me.
So because the students have devices with them, it allows us to access current, relevant, and engaging information immediately. So as we have questions in the classroom, we can get the answers immediately, and they're used to that because that's the world they live in.
Social, we did a project about going to the Sochi 2014 Winter Olympics. We had to find the price and plan out every day. And my group and I, we shared the work, and we could all work together at the same time to cover more ground.
It's the same as if the kids are working in textbooks or with paper. You just have to monitor, so you have to walk around and just check what they're doing. And I also find that if they're engaged with what they're doing, they're right into it anyways, so you don't have to monitor them that closely. You can tell that they're engaged.
Being able to use technology to help close the gap between their peers and how they can show their work has been a definite benefit. It allows the students who may struggle in an area be able to much more independently show what they know, be able to access the content and be able to complete work on a much more independent level by using the technology or the app to assist them. It also allows students that require supports in the classroom to look no different than their peers in the classroom. The assistive devices that they might require look no different than the other technological devices that their peers are using. One of the concerns is trying to attain a one-to-one ratio with all the devices and our students. We don't want any of our students to feel pressured to bring their own device, but those who do have one already, having them bring it into the building in addition to our in-school purchases and the ones that are purchased by our school community council. It helps fill in the gap so that everyone in the classroom has access to